The late King Hussein of Jordan said in 1981, "Jordan is Palestine, Palestine is Jordan." What did he mean exactly? What is Jordan? Who are Jordanians? What is their origin? And what is Palestine? And who are Palestinians? Where did they come from? Welcome to Analysed and Explained. In this video, we will examine the question, is Jordan Palestine? First, let's ask, what is Jordan? Jordan is actually a river. This is the river that divides the West Bank, or Judea and Samaria as the Israelis call it, from the modern-day country of Jordan. It is that river where Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. Its name is derived from the word Yarden, mentioned many times in the Hebrew Bible. The Emirate of Transjordan was established as a British protectorate on the 11th of April 1921. Abdullah bin al-Hussein was declared as the Emir of Transjordan following Cairo Conference convened by Winston Churchill, but more on this history later. On the 25th of May 1946, the Emirate of Transjordan gained independence from the British Empire and became the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. And the Emir Abdullah bin al-Hussein became King of Jordan. There was no territory in history which was ever called Jordan before this. But what about Jordanians? Who are they? What is their origin? Well, Jordanians are Arabs. In fact, 94% of Jordanians are Arabs, while the remaining 6% belong to ethnic minorities such as Circassians, Chechens, Armenians, and Kurds, etc. The origin of Jordanians is the same as the origin of the rest of the Arabs. This is clearly evident in Jordan's two flags and the significance of the four colors used. Three of these colors represent Islamic Caliphate dynasties of the past, and the red color represents Hashemite dynasty. Hashemite dynasty inherited not only Jordan but also Syria, Iraq, and Hejaz, currently a part of Saudi Arabia. Hashemite rule over Syria was very brief. King Faisal II of Iraq was assassinated and monarchy in Iraq was abolished in 1958. The Hashemite kingdom of Hejaz was taken over by the Al Saud dynasty, which continues to rule now in Saudi Arabia. King Abdullah II is the only Hashemite king remaining. Notice that the Hashemite color of red is absent in the flag of Saudi Arabia. And what's interesting is that the flag of PLO, or Palestinian State, is pretty much the same as the flag of Jordan, with the exception of the white star, which corresponds to the unity of all Arab peoples, including Palestinians. And the flag of the Arab Federation is virtually the same as the Palestinian flag. So who then are the Palestinians? And what is Palestine? The word Palestine has its origins in the Jewish scriptures. The Hebrew word is Peleshet, which later became Philistine in Arabic. It refers both to the territory of an ancient ethnic population known as Philistines. Their original home was in the strip that spans across the coastal towns of Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ashdod. The word Peleshet occurs 296 times in the Hebrew Bible. And the famous David and Goliath story, we read about Goliath being a Philistine. And Philistines were the enemies of ancient Israelites. The story of David and Goliath is mentioned in the Quran, but the word Philistine is not found in the Quran. In the secular history, though, the Egyptian word parashat is inscribed at the temple at Medinet Habu, and it's considered to be the first mention of the word Palestine. The same word is also found in the 900 BC inscription on Padiset's statue. The word Palashtu is found inscribed on the Numrud slab dated to 800 BC, and the word Pilistu is also mentioned in Esarhaddon's treaty that he made with Baal of Tyre in 675 BC. All these references point to the same biblical Philistines who lived primarily in the coastal areas of Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ashdod. In 450 BC, the Greek historian Herodotus mentioned Palestine as an area that spans across the present-day Israel, West Bank, Gaza Strip, and the western portion of the present-day Jordan. During this time, ancient Israelites had just returned from Babylonian captivity, and they were under the Persian Empire. When the Romans took over the area, they named the provinces after the biblical names of Idumea, Judea, Samaria, and Galilee. The provinces of Perea and Decapolis, of course, are not biblical. However, after the Jewish revolt against the Romans led by Bar Kokhba in 135 AD has failed, the Romans renamed the entire area as Syria Palestina in order to humiliate the Jews and remove any traces of their national memory. The Byzantine Empire had three provinces named Palestine: Palestine Prima, Palestina Secunda, and Palestina Tertia or Salutaris. So the Roman use of Palestine spans across the River Jordan, both east side, east bank, and the west. So what about modern Palestine? These are the provinces of Ottoman Empire in 1914. They were called wilayats or sanjaks, and there was no official wilayat or sanjak of Palestine, although the word Philistine was used generally, but no official wilayat or sanjak. However, the British revived the Roman term Palestine for the area again, especially in the Balfour Declaration of 1917, where Britain committed to creating a national home for Jewish people in Palestine. Even though the boundaries of the territory were not clearly defined, the word Palestine referred to the areas in both sides of the River Jordan. Let's pause here for a while and hear what Golda Meir, ex-Prime Minister of Israel, said about Palestine.
When were Palestinians born? What was all this area before the First World War? When Britain got the mandate over Palestine, what was Palestine then? Palestine was then the area between the Mediterranean and the Iraqian border.
You say there's no such thing as
East and West Bank, no. East and West Bank was Palestine. I'm a Palestinian. From 21 until 48, I carried a Palestinian passport. There was no such thing in this area as Jews and Arabs and Palestinians. There were Jews and Arabs.
In the San Remo Resolution of April 1920, allocation of League of Nations mandates was made for the administration of three Ottoman territories in the Middle East, namely Palestine, Syria, and Mesopotamia. The territory of present-day Jordan was not mentioned explicitly, but it was understood to be a part of the term Palestine because the other two areas referred to are Syria and Iraq, or Mesopotamia. However, in 1921, the Emirate of Transjordan was separated and excluded from the mandate for Palestine. Subsequently, the mandate for Palestine was approved by the Council of the League of Nations in July 1922. Article 25 of this legal document refers to the eastern border of Transjordan as the eastern border of Palestine. In other words, it actually refers to Transjordan as Palestine. Transjordan was Palestine originally and was redesignated as Transjordan to exclude it from the scope of Palestine, in which a Jewish national home was promised. But Jordanians themselves were very clear. King Abdullah I stated it in the plainest terms: Palestine is one unit. The division between Palestine and Transjordan is artificial and wasteful. In 1959, Hadza Mazali, the Prime Minister of Jordan, said, "We here in Jordan, led by our great king, are the government of Palestine, the army of Palestine, and we are the refugees." In 1975, Zayd al-Rifai, the Prime Minister of Jordan, said, "Jordan is Palestine. They have never been ruled as two separate states except during the British Mandate. Before 1918, the two banks of the River Jordan were a single state." And as we have seen earlier, King Hussein of Jordan said this in 1981. Jordan is Palestine and Palestine is Jordan. In 1986, the Speaker of Jordanian Parliament, Akef al-Fayez, said, "Jordan does not distinguish between its people on the east and on the west bank. Our people is one and our family is one. We look forward to that day when one family will resume its historic role." The first chief of PLO, or Palestinian Liberation Organization, Ahmed Ash-Shukeri, said, "Palestine stretched from the Mediterranean Sea in the west to the Syrian-Iraqi desert." This can't be more clearer. The Palestinian National Council resolution made in 1971 said, "What links Jordan to Palestine is a national bond and a national unity formed since time immemorial by history and culture. The establishment of one political entity in Transjordan and another political entity in Palestine is illegal." In the PNC resolution made in the next year, they even wanted to get rid of the monarchy in Jordan to make a single Palestine that includes the present-day Jordan. They wrote in the resolution, "The need for struggle to overthrow the agent regime in Jordan, which is a front line of defense for the Zionist state and organically linked to Israel, has become no less urgent than the need for struggle against Zionist occupation." So what is the conclusion then? The conclusion is that Jordan is a river. There is no Jordanian ethnicity or national identity in the history. It is an artificial term. As for the term Palestine, it refers to a geographical territory and not to an ethnicity or a nationality, unless of course one is referring to the ancient Philistines of which Goliath was a part, and of course they were not Arabs. And those living in West Bank and Gaza and Jordan today are all Arabs. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon to get notified when I post new videos. Thank you very much.